All right, so hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. So in today's class, we are going to go through the broad topics for question one. And question one is the number theory and consumer arithmetic and computation aspect of the CSEC syllabus. It is also topic one. For those of you who, let me see if I can show you the broad topics. All right, so let's look at the broad topics for mathematics. So according to what CXC has identified, question one is number theory, computation, and consumer arithmetic. They have identified fractions, decimals, ratios, and consumer arithmetic. I am not too concerned with the percentages. I feel that the percentages is going to be in the statistics question. So what we are going to do, we are going to have approximately 8 to 10 classes from now till the 1st of June. And in each class, we are going to do one of the broad topics. So I am going to send you in well prepared. The classes are recorded. It is going to be uploaded on my YouTube channel, right? So I'm no longer sending the link on the class chat or on the WhatsApp chat. In addition to that, all the materials that I cover with you today is going to be emailed or sent via WhatsApp. So at the end of our sessions here, by the 1st of June, I will have completed every single topic outlined in the broad topic. So we're going to start off with fractions. So let me stop sharing here. Now, I notice that we have done quite a lot of fractions and decimals and ratio, but we need to keep revising. So what I did, I put together a worksheet here with some questions, and I am going to do the questions with you. So there's no need to write the question. The worksheet is going to be provided to you at the end of the class. So you have exactly 2 minutes to do January 2019. There's no need to go to the booklet. The booklet has answers, so I do not want you to go to the booklet. You get some writing paper, your calculator, and you have 2 minutes to do question part 2, January 2019. So go ahead. All right, do you all have an answer? So using the calculator, a half multiplied by 3/5, this is 3/10. Having gotten that, we will score 1 mark. The next mark is for dividing 3/10 by 3.5. The answer, 3/35. So on my dotted line, I am going to put the answer. Here, I would have scored another mark, giving me 2 marks. Did you get that?
Yeah, miss.
We're moving along. Go ahead. Notice you are to write BODMAS on the side here, and you are to use BODMAS to work out the order of operations. So I am giving you 2 minutes again. Go ahead. All right, time's up. According to BODMAS, we are to work out the division first, and then we work the addition second. So I am going to work out 5.5 divided by 3 2/3. Now, the question says to use your calculator, so I am going to do that, just that. 5.5 divided by 3 2/3 will give me 1.5. Here, the examiner will award me 1 mark. The question isn't finished yet. I have to work out 1.5 plus 1 4/5. The answer, 3 3/10. This is another mark. And you are to place your answer on the dotted line. Did you all get that?
Yeah, miss.
All right, let's go. 2 minutes again. 2017, let's go. All right, let's go. So we have a fraction to work out. Although according to BODMAS, we have to divide first. Because it is a fraction, we have to work out the numerator. So you have to work out 3.5 multiplied by 1 2/3. You will get 3.5 multiplied by 1 2/3. The answer is 5 and 5/6. Three and a half multiplied by 1 2/3. 5 and 5/6. Then we have to divide this by 4 1/5. The answer 1 7/18. Did you all get it?
Yeah, miss.
So here, CXC would have awarded you 1 mark. Remember, you are not to do the paper 2 in pencil. The questions are scanned and uploaded. You have to use pen, right? And for your final answer, you will get another mark. So there's no reason why any of you should get the fraction part of the question 1 incorrect. Last one. We write in BODMAS beside here. It's 2 marks again. And you are to use your handy calculator. By now, each and every one of you should have a scientific calculator. All right, here I have 2 and 14/15. Could anybody confirm that?
Yeah, miss.
Yes, miss.
Right, so we are already on our way. We have scored our first mark in the exam. We are going to do the second part, 2 and 14/15 divided by 4/15. So go ahead. All right, I got 11. Could someone confirm that?
Yeah,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Right, so the first question and the first part in the CSEC past paper that you are expected to write on the 1st of June will comprise of a fraction question where you have to apply BODMAS. I want to emphasize, if you are given a fraction, you are to work the numerator first before dividing by the denominator. If you are given a question in this format, you are to follow the BODMAS, do the brackets first and then the division. So here we have done 4 questions on the fractions, and this was to prepare you for your exam on the 1st of June. So the next thing that CXC says they are going to bring is decimals. And with decimals, they can bring approximation. So we want to go through a couple things before we do any questions on decimals, because anybody could use their calculator and multiply 3.2 and multiply by 2.5. That is not what they want. They will be giving you a question on approximation involving decimals. Now, students have a lot of difficulty, and I feel approximation, no matter how much times it is done, we have problems approximating to decimal places, to significant figures, to whole numbers. Because when we are given a question and we have to fill in the missing digit with a 0, we sometimes don't do that. What I want you to remember, when you are approximating a number, it must make sense. So if you are approximating a number like 126 to 3 significant figures, or 1 significant figure, you cannot write from 126 1. The place value must make sense. So if there's a missing digit, you need to fill it with zeros. It comes like you give me $126 and in return, I take your money and I give you back $1. So the first thing we're going to look at is rounding decimals. What does this mean? First, work out which number will be left when we finish. We are rounding to tenths, means to leave 1 number after the decimal point. Also, this can be approximating to 1 decimal place. And we know that a number like 23.456, this is the tenths position. In the multiple choice, they ask you for the place value of the 5, you put 2 over 100. So it means that 5 is the hundredths position. And the 6 is the thousandths position with the THS. So to round off to 1 decimal place, it means that we leave 1 number after the decimal point. Do you all feel you understand that?
Yeah, miss.
Right. We are rounding off to 100 or to hundredths. It means that we leave 2 numbers after the decimal point. This can also be to 2 decimal places. So whatever we are approximating, our answer must make sense. There is no need for you to write anything on my screen. At the end of the session, all the notes and the worksheet will be sent to you. So all I ask is that you do not write and you pay attention. Now, let us examine this number. This has 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers after the decimal point, but I want to round it to hundredths or to 2 decimal places. So that means I need to eliminate these 2 numbers. I need to eliminate those 2. So this is my cutoff here. Now, this 1 plays an important role. The 1 is what we call the deciding factor. It tells me whether I need to add 1 to the number before or I need to leave it alone. Since the 1 is less than 5, I do not add 1. So the answer becomes 3.14. Now, when you are writing your answer, be cognizant of the fact that it must be the answer that the question is asking you for. For 2 decimal places, you must have 2 numbers after the decimal point. You are not to put a 0, you are not to put anything after the 4. So this is my first example. We go in again. we're going to round off to thousandths. According to this, this is 3 decimal places. So let us examine it again. 3.1416. This is my first, second, this is my third digit. The 6 has a decision to make. It will tell me if to leave the number before it as 1 or to add 1. Now 6 is greater than 5. So which means we add 1 to this one here, giving us 3.142. Now let us look at our answer. The question is asking you to round it off to thousandths or 3 decimal places. Let me count. Here I have 1, 2, 3 digits. So therefore I have completely answered what they ask of me. If I put anything other than this answer, it is wrong. So we must be mindful of what they ask. If they ask you for 3 decimal places, it must be 3 decimal places and nothing else. These questions are 1-mark questions, and the only way you will get the answer is by having the right, the mark, sorry, is by having the right answer. The next one, so we did 2 decimal places. We did 3, let us do 1, because we know that tenths is the number after the decimal point. So let's write this number. I want it to 1 decimal place. This is my cutoff. This digit here is my deciding factor. It will tell me if I am to add 1 to the number before it or if I am to leave it alone. Here it is greater than 5, so I add 1 to the 2. This becomes 1.3. The question asks for approximating this number to 1 decimal place. According to my answer, this is 1 decimal place. How do I know? It has 1 value after the decimal point. Are we okay so far?
Yeah, Miss.
Is there anybody who doesn't understand how to round decimals or how to approximate decimals? Now, let us look at 3 decimal places. So we go in again. 1.2735. This is my first, second, third. This is my cutoff. This number is 5 or more, so this is greater than or equal to 5. So I add 1 to 3. So this becomes 1.274. Again, 3 numbers, 3 decimal places. So be mindful that when the question asks you to round to 3 decimal places, you are to put nothing but 3 digits after the decimal point. Otherwise, you will get the question incorrect. Let us go to whole numbers. We may want to round off to the nearest tens, the nearest thousands, or the nearest ones. We may want to round off. In this case, we replace the removed digit with 0. And I cannot emphasize this anymore. When you remove a digit, please replace it with a 0, especially for numbers before the decimal point. So let's look at this. 134.9. We have units, we have tens. This is my cutoff here. It means this is my deciding factor. So yes, I know that this number is less than 5, so I do not add 1. So here's what I am going to put, 1, 3. Now, 134.9 is not approximately 13. So in place of my digit before the decimal point, I must put a 0. This number must be as close to this one as possible. If it is extremely far off, it means your answer is incorrect. Let us go to the second one now. 12,690. We are going to approximate to the nearest thousands. Units, tens, hundreds, thousands. So I'm going to draw my cutoff. This is my deciding factor. This number is greater than or equal to 5. I know that. So it means that I add 1 to 2, making it 3. Now here's what. If you give me $12,690 and I say here's what, $13 is equivalent to that. That doesn't make any sense. So the number must be close to the answer as possible. So I have 1, 2, 3 digits here. So therefore I put 1, 2, 3 zeros. So from our knowledge, because we all can count money, 12,690 is approximately 13,000. Let's go again. We have 15.239. So this is ones here. This is my cutoff. This number here is less than 5. So I do not add 1. So as long as the number is after the decimal point, I am not concerned with that. I am only concerned with numbers before the decimal point. And 15.239 is approximately 15. Does anyone have any questions so far?
No, miss.
No, miss.
All right. Now this is where it gets a little bit technical. We have to round to significant digits. To round to so many significant digits, count the digits from left to right. So we start from the first digit, and that is how we count significant figures. If the first digit is 0, we simply ignore it and go to the number that is not 0. Let me repeat that. When starting to count significant figures, we start counting from the first digit that is not 0. If the digit is 0, we go to the next value or the next digit that is not 0. So let us look at this. 1.239. We want to approximate this to 3 significant digits. So 3 significant digits means that your answer must have 3 digits. This is not decimal places. This is significant digits or significant figures. So here we are looking for 3 significant figures. So let's start counting. Well, this number is not 0, so I can count 1, 2, 3. This is my cutoff. This number here is greater than 5, so I add 1. 1.24. Let me check my answer. The question asks for 3 significant figures. I have 1, 2, 3 significant figures. Here I am finished. I am rounding this 134.9 to 1 significant figure. Well, this is my first significant figure. This is my cutoff. This number is less than 5, so I do not add 1. So the 1 stays, and I have 2 digits after, or 2 digits before, the decimal point. So in place of the 3, I put a 0. In place of the 4, I put a 0. Because I cannot approximate 139.34.9 to 1. The place value must be the same. So this is relatively approximate to 100. Let's go to this one now. We want to approximate it to 2 significant figures. So this is not my first significant figure because this is a 0. So I am going to the next digit, 1, 2. This is my cutoff. This value here is greater than or equal to 5, so I add 1. My answer, 0.017. So here, in my answer, I only have two significant figures, which is 1 and 7. So look at this. This is not significant. This is not significant. This is not significant. The only significant values are the ones that are placed after the first 0. However, once this is after a digit, this one is significant. So significant figures are what we call approximating as well. And we start counting the digits from the first, from left to right, and we count from the first non-zero number. All right? So let's go. This question, I'm giving you 4 marks. Let's see what you can do. Are you all seeing it properly?
Yeah, miss.
Right, so I'm giving you 5 minutes. Let's see what you can do. You are doing this part for me as well as decimal places, significant figures, and whole number. Go ahead. For those of you who don't know what this means, this is 165 by 0.38 by 0.38. Here we are supposed to get 23.826. We are putting our answer on the dotted line. Did you all get that for 1 mark?
Yeah, miss.
Right. Now, here's where we can score 3 full marks, making it 4 in this part of the question. So we have 23.826. We want to 2 decimal places first. This is my first decimal place. This is my second. This is my cutoff. This is my deciding factor. Yes, it is greater than 5, so I add 1. This becomes 23.83. Did you all get that?
Yeah, miss.
Is there anybody who would like me to go over that again? We are going to do significant figures now. Two 3.826. Well, the first digit is not 0, so I start counting. And I want 3 significant figures. 1, 2, 3. This is my cutoff. This digit is less than 5. So I do not add 1. So this becomes 23.8. Do you all have that?
Yeah, miss.
Whole number now, 23.826, right? So we want to approximate this to the nearest whole number. So this is my whole number part. This is my decimal part. This is my cutoff because after the decimal point is the decimal part. This is greater than 5. So I add 1. So this becomes 24. Did anybody get that?
Yes, miss.
Yeah, miss.
All right, so take down whatever you need. Let's continue with the decimal part of the CSEC syllabus. Remember to place your answers on the dotted line and to use pen. Standard form. Well, before we go into standard form, let's do this one. Let's do these two, and then we will go into standard form. So go ahead. You have 3 minutes. All right, are we ready?
Yeah, miss.
73.18 minus 5.23 multiplied by 9.34 is 24.3318. They ask for your answer corrected 2 decimal places. This is my cutoff here. This is my deciding factor. The deciding factor is less than 5. So my answer is 24.33. Did you all get that?
Yes, miss.
Right? Then we have 3.1 squared divided by 6.17 plus 1.21. The answer 2.6775. I want to approximate this to two significant figures. This is greater than 5, so I add 1. This is equal to 2.68. Correct to 2 decimal places. Did you all get that?
Yes, miss.
So we can approximate to significant figures. We can approximate to decimal places. So we are going to approximate using standard formula. All right, can you all see my screen?
Yeah, miss.
So what I am concerned about is this part here. For standard form, the number is written in 2 parts. First, we have the digits with the decimal point placed after the first digit. I can't emphasize this more. The decimal point is placed after the first digit. So you see this part is of utmost importance. So for standard form, we place the decimal point after the first digit. We multiply it by 10 to a power that puts the decimal point back where it should be. So let's look at this. This is my number, 5,326.6. If I am approximating this number to standard form, as the note says, we are putting the decimal point after the first digit. So here I'm putting the decimal point, and we are multiplying this by 10 to some power. And the power that we are going to put is where we had the decimal point in the first place. So at first it was between the 2 6s. So if we move it 1, 2, 3 spaces, this becomes 10 to the power of 3. So standard form, we put the digits first, we put the decimal point after the first digit, and we multiply it by 10 to some power. The power of 10, it is the number of spaces I move the decimal point to get back the original number. So I have this number here now. This is 0.0055. We are approximating this to standard form. So I am putting the decimal point after the first non-zero value. So it becomes after the 5, multiplied by 10 to some power. Because it is smaller than 1, meaning it is 0.000 something, the power is negative. So here, to get back the original number, I must move the decimal point 3 spaces. Do you all understand that?
Yeah, miss.
Now, standard form, for large numbers greater than 1, the power is positive. Standard form for small numbers greater than 1, the power is negative. So let us recap what we looked at today. Here, standard form has two parts. Just the digit, you place the decimal point after the first digit, followed by 10 to some power. The power tells us how many spaces you move back to get the original. If the number is very big, the power is positive. Standard form again, like 0.0055. This is a small number, less than 1. So we start off with 5.5 by 10 to some power, and we move the decimal point 3 spaces, so it's 10 to the minus 3 because this is less than 1. So let's continue. All right, so we have this question here to do. Write in your answer in standard form. What I want to emphasize, somewhere you can write it. 10 to the power 2 is 1 and 2 zeros. 10 to the power 3 is 1 and 3 zeros. So there's no reason why you should get that wrong. You will get 1 mark for working it out correctly, and you will get the 2nd mark for writing it in standard form. All right, are we finished? Is anyone still writing?
No, miss.
So the answer that I have is 2080. Do you all have that?
Yeah, miss.
So
Yes.
the decimal point is after the 0 there because this is a whole number. It have no decimal part, it's a whole number part. So my answer, I am placing the decimal point now after the first digit. The power is positive because this is a big number. So to get back the original number, I move it 1, 2, 3 spaces. It is 10 to the power of 3. Did you all get that?
Yes, miss.
Very good. So far we completed fractions, we completed decimals. Next on our list of topics for question 1 is ratio followed by some consumer arithmetic. So I don't want you to get weary, I don't want you to get tired, so we are taking a break. It is 1 minute past 3. You will return at 11 minutes past 3. Okay? All right, so let us look at some examples concerning ratio, because they did identify that you are getting a ratio question, right? Or a part of a question. We want to share 20 pounds in the ratio 2 to 5 to 3. So the first thing when we are doing questions involving ratio, we have to find the total number of parts. So the total number of parts is simply found by adding 2, 5, and 3. The sum of these numbers is 10. So $20 is shared in 10 parts, or 20 pounds is shared in 10 parts. So therefore, one part will be 2 pounds. So if I find for one part, I can find for 2 parts, 5 parts, and 3 parts. So 2 parts will be 2 by 2, which is 4. 5 parts, 5 by 2, which is 10. 3 parts, 3 by 2, which is 6. When I find the sum of these numbers, I will get 20 pounds. Do you all understand that so far?
Yes, Miss.
So the 3 numbers are in the ratio 2, 5, and 3. This means the amount is shared between 3 people or 3 persons. The total number of parts is 10. To find the value of each part, we divide the amount by the total number of parts. One part is $2. And simply we multiply the 3 numbers to get our ratio value. The value of each part is found by dividing the sum by the total number of parts. When we multiply each number in the ratio by the value, we work out each value part. So let's look at this one. Share $48 in the ratio 3 to 1 to 2. So the total number of parts is 6. So 6 parts is equal to $48. So 48, we divide the sum by the number of parts. One part is $8. So 3 parts will be 3 by 8, which is 24. One part will be 1 by 8, which is 8. And 2 parts, 2 by 8, which is 16. When we add 24 and 8 and 16, we will get the total number or the total amount of money to be shared, which is 48. Concrete tiles are made using buckets of cement, sand, and gravel in the ratio 1 to 4 to 6. How many buckets of gravel are needed for 4 buckets of cement? So let's look at this. The first thing when doing the ratio question is to write out the ratio. What is the ratio? Cement to sand to gravel. Cement to sand to gravel. The ratio, 1 bucket of cement to 4 buckets of sand to 6 buckets of gravel. How many buckets of gravel are needed for 4 buckets of cement? So when I multiply this by 4, I want to know how many gravel will I need. Work it out. All right, who would want to give me how many buckets of gravel do I need? For 4 buckets of cement, how many buckets of gravel do I need? All right, how much did I multiply the number 1 by? How
Four,
much?
Miss.
4. So I need to multiply the number of gravel by 4. How much is that?
24.
24. So therefore, for 4 buckets of cement, I need 24 buckets of gravel. Do you all understand that?
Yeah, Miss.
So we go in again. If 20 buckets of sand, so now I'm going to erase this. This is 20. How much do I multiply 4 by to get 20?
5, Miss.
Right. So can you work out the number of cement I will need and the number of gravel for 20 buckets of sand?
Yes, Miss.
All right, go ahead. All right. So if we multiply 1 by 5, we will get 5 buckets of cement. If I multiply 6 by 5, I will get 30 buckets. Did you all get it?
Yes, Miss.
Now what I want to show you is that if I divide by 5, I will get back my ratio 1 to 4 to 6. All right, so let's continue. So take a few minutes and see how much you can complete from this question. The total number of students at Topview High School is 1,200. The ratio of teachers to students is 1 to 30. So you might want to write that. Teachers to students is 1 to 30, right? So there are 1,200 students. So therefore 1,200 divided by 30 will tell us how much we multiply by 30. So 1,200 divided by 30 is how much? $1,200 divided by 30 is
40.
40. So I multiply 30 by 40. So I must multiply 1 by 40 as well. So this will give me 40 teachers. So for 1,200 students, if there's a ratio of 1 to 30 and the capacity of the school is 1,200, I will need 40 teachers. So go ahead, attempt these two parts here and see what you get. Two-fifths of the students own personal computers. How many do not own? Well, if 2/5 own, 3/5 do not own. So 3/5 of 1,200 is 720. Did you all get that?
Yes, Miss.
Another way of working it out is to find out who own and subtract it from 1,200. Let's look at this. 30% of the students who own personal computers also own PlayStations. 30% off. So off means to multiply. 30% of the students who own personal computers. So 30% of what? Well, 30% of the amount of the fraction who own personal computers. And we know 2/5 own personal computers. So 2/5 multiplied by 30%. Work out that and write your answer correct in lowest terms. Five could go into 36 times. 2 could go into 150 times. 2 could go into 6, 3, 50, 25. The answer, 3/25. Did you all get it?
Yeah, miss.
Last but not least, the ratio of, so you're writing male, not male, teachers to male students to female students is 3 to 17 to 18. They told us the total amount of students is 630. So work out the number of parts, find for one part, and then multiply by 3 to find the number of teachers. Go ahead. All right, so we want to find the number of teachers, and it helps when we underline what we are trying to find. 17 plus 18 is 35. So 35 parts is equal to 630. So one part is equal to 630 divided by 35. One part is 18. So to find the number of teachers, we multiply 3 by 18 and we will get 54. The answer, 54 teachers. Did you all get that?
Yes, miss.
So we did fractions, we did decimals. With decimals, we did approximation. In addition to that, we did ratio. The next topic that they said they are bringing in question 1 is consumer arithmetic. Consumer arithmetic is so broad, right? They can bring depreciation, they can bring interest, they can bring wages. So we're going to touch on a few of those before we end our class today. So we are on to consumer arithmetic. John bought a car for 65,000. If the value of the car depreciates by 8%, how much would the car be worth at the end of 2 years? I am giving you 3 minutes to complete this question. And please don't go into your booklet. We are doing the question on our own without any answer, all right, to see how much we know. All right, let's go. John bought a car for 65,000. The car depreciates, so it decreases by 8%. How much will it be worth in 2 years? P naught is the initial value of the car, 65,000. P1 is the first depreciation, 8% of 65,000. $5,200. P1, the value after 1 year. $65,000 minus 5,200. $59,800. But they didn't ask for 1 year, they asked for 2 years. So D2, depreciation after the second year. So P2, the value after 2 years, 59,800 minus 4784. The answer is $55,020. Did you all get it? No, 55,600. Sorry, 59,800 minus 4784 is $55,016. Did you all get it?
Yeah, miss.
So I kind of leaning towards the depreciation. It is one of the topics they haven't brought in a while, right? They brought wages in 2022. I'm not sure that they're going to repeat wages. I am leaning towards depreciation. I'm leaning towards simple interest and compound interest. So we're going to do that. Before we go to that, let us look at some notes. Interest is principal by rate by time. The principal is the amount of money you borrow or you invest. The rate is the percent charge for the use of money, and the rate is given as a percentage. And the time is the duration of the money that is invested or borrowed, and the time is given in years. So the simple interest formula, and this is for you to learn. It is not given in your formula sheet, so you have to commit this to memory. Notice, simple interest, PRT over 100. If we find any principal, it is always 100 by the simple interest. The denominator is the missing two variables. If we want to find P, the denominator is rate and time. If we want to find rate, the missing two variables are principal and time. If we want to find time, the missing two variables is principal and rate. Here, we must always have PRT, principal by rate by time. The amount is the principal plus the simple interest. So those are formulas that you are expected to know. All right, so we will do this one. Thomas invested $1,498 at 6% simple interest. Per annum, calculate the interest in dollars earned after 6 months. So here you have to change months to years. So 6 months is really 6 over 12, which is a half. Or you can write it as 0.5. It doesn't matter. A half or 0.5 of a year. So take a few minutes and try this simple interest question, please. How long? The amount is principal plus interest. How long? We want to find the variable time. So go ahead. All right, are we finished? Is anyone finished? Are we finished now? All
Okay.
right. 1498 multiplied by 6 by 0.5 divided by 100. The answer, $44.94. Did you all get that?
Yeah, miss.
So the amount, 1498 plus the interest, 44.94. The amount is $1,542.94. Did you all get that?
Yes, miss.
Right. So the next one, how long will it take to invest so that we can get $449.40? How long? The variable we are finding is time. So 100 multiplied by 449.40 divided by 1498 multiplied by the rate, which is 6%. So 100 multiplied by 449.4 divided by 1498 multiplied by 6. The answer is 5 years. Do you all have that?
Yeah, miss.
All right, let's continue. Another thing they can bring in consumer arithmetic is profit and loss. Paul bought and sold a computer. He wrote his business activity as the cost price is the amount that you buy the computer for. The mark price is the amount you sell it for. The discount is how much is a lower price of the selling price. So the buying price, the cost price, the selling price, another way of writing it is the mark price. We want you to work out the selling price. If you pay cash, so if you pay cash, again, 5% off. 5% of which value? Well, 5% of the selling price. And we want to find the profit or loss as a percentage. So write down this for me and learn it. Percentage profit is profit over the cost price multiplied by 100%. Percentage loss is loss over the cost price by 100%. So take a couple minutes and work it out. All right, let me know when you are ready with the answer. Here I have $69.95. $13.99 minus $69.95. $1,329.05. Did you all get it?
Yeah, miss.
All right. So if you bought a computer for 1,000 and something and you sold it for this price, did you make a profit or a loss? You sold it for 13 something, you bought it for 1,000 and something. Did you make a profit or a loss?
Profit, miss.
Thank you, Christian. You make a profit because the selling price is higher than the cost price. So the profit is the selling price minus the cost price. So $1,329.05 minus 1,064. You made a profit of $265.05. Now, work out for me the percentage profit. So 265.05 divided by 1,064. And the profit percentage or the profit loss is always over the cost price. It is never over the selling price. The answer here is 24.9%. Did you all get it?
Yeah, miss.
Is anyone still writing? We're almost there to the end, right? So have a little patience, about 10 minutes again, and we will finish. The next thing that they can bring in consumer arithmetic is foreign exchange or currency conversion. So we're going to look at it. At a bank, $1 is equal to $1.96 Barbados dollars. Calculate the value of 700 US in Barbados dollars. And at a bank, 700 US is 1386 Barbados dollars. Calculate the value of 1 US. So go ahead. You're doing for me these two questions. All right, are you all ready? All right, at a bank, $1 is equal to $1.96 Barbados dollar. So 700 US dollars will be equal to 700 multiplied by 196. The answer is 1372 Barbados dollars. Did you all get it? Did you all get this answer?
Yes, miss.
US 700 is equal to 1386 Barbados dollar. So to find for 1 US, we divide by 700. So US $1 is equal to 1386 divided by 700. It is equal to 198 Barbados dollars. Marco is on vacation in the Caribbean. He changes 4,500 pesos to 4,500 Mexican pesos to EC. So for 630 EC dollars, he gets 4,500 Mexican pesos. So 1 EC dollar is 4,500 divided by 630. The answer is $7.14. All right.
Yeah.
So we have touched on a number of topics that CXC can bring for the key consumer arithmetic part. The next question is the 2022. I'm not going to do that. You all do it, and I will send the answer, or I did it already with some of you all. This one I'm not going to do because they brought it in 2022. So they already brought wages. So I'm sure that they are not going to bring it again, but it doesn't hurt if we try it. So this is one question that I didn't complete in the worksheet. And there's another question on interest, simple interest. So this is here for you to practice. Now, today we completed topic 1 of the CSEC broad topics, which were consumer arithmetic, fractions, decimals, ratio. Those were the 3 topics that CXC said they are going to bring for you on the 1st of June.